Okay, so Daniel Robbins here again. I want to do 0 through 1023 in one fell swoop. I'm putting in the night shift here, but I've had it with numerical illiteracy, so let's go. Here's 0. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, J, K, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, V, U, X, Y, Z. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 18, B, 10, C, 10, D, 10, E, and F, 10, G, 10, H, and J, 10, K, 10, M, 10, N, 10, P, 10, Q, 10, R, 10, S, and T, 10, V, 10, U, 10, X, and Y, 10, Z, 10, 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 20 R, 20 B, 20 D, 20 E, 20 C, 20 D, 20 E, 20 F, 20 G, 20 H, 20 J, 20 K, 20 M, 20 N, 20 P, 20 Q, 20 R, 20 S, 20 T, 20 V, 20 U, 20 X, 20 Y, 20 Z, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. So I just realized I'm going to be using base 32, which is a little bit odd to some of you, but I got to get through this, so let's keep going. 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 30 A, 30 B, 30 C, 30 D, 30 E, 30 F, 30 G. By the way, third of 4 was the equivalent of decimal 100, and third of G would be the decimal equivalent of 112. So 30 G, 30 H, 30 J, 30 K, 30 M, 30 N, 30 P, 30 Q, 30 R, 30 S, 30 T, 30 V, 30 U, 30 X, 30 Y, 30 Z, 40. So 40 is decimal 128. 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, for the A, for the B, for the C, for the D, for the E, for the F, for the G, for the H, for the J, for the K, for the M, for the N, for the P, for the Q, for the R, for the S, for the T, for the V, for the U, for the X, for the Y, for the Z. 50. 50 is the decimal 160. 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 50 A, 50 B, 50 C, 50 D, 50 E, 50 F, 50 G, 50 H, 50 J, 50 K, 50 M, 50 N, 50 P, 50 Q, 50 R, 50 S, 50 T, 50 V, 50 U, 50 X, 50 Y, 50 Z. 6. 6 equals decimal 192. 601, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68. So 68 is decimal 200. 6 of 9, 6 of R, 6 of B, 6 of C, 6 of D, 6 of E, 6 of F, 6 of G, 6 of H, 6 of J, 6 of K, 6 of M, 6 of N, 6 of P, 6 of Q, 6 of R, 6 of S, 6 of T, 6 of V, 6 of U, 6 of X, 6 of Y, 6 of Z. 7. So 7 equals decimal 224. 7 to 1, 7 to 2, 7 to 3, 7 to 4, 7 to 5, 7 to 6, 7 to 7, 7 to 8, 7 to 9, 7 R, 7 to B, 7 to C, 7 to D, 7 to E, 7 to F, 7 to G, 7 to H, 7 to J, 7 to K, 7 to M, 7 to N, 7 to 7 to P, 7 to Q, 7 to R, 7 to S, 7 to T, 7 to V, 7 to U, 7 to X, 7 to Y, 7 to Z, 8. By the way, some of you are going to notice that I've dropped certain letters of the alphabet. That's because I don't need I, L, O, or U, and some of those are problematic because they could be confused with certain numbers. So yes, I am using A through Z, omitting I, L, O, and U. And by the way, eta equals decimal 256. 256. So base 32 eta equals decimal 256. So eta 1, eta 2, eta 3, eta 4, eta 5, eta 6, eta 7, eta 8, eta 9, eta R, eta B, eta C, eta D, eta E, eta F, eta G, eta H, eta J, eta K, eta M, eta N, eta P, eta Q, eta R, eta S, eta T, eta V, eta U, eta X, eta Y, eta Z, 9. 9 equals decimal 288. 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 9 R, 9 B, 9 C. So base 32, 9 C equals decimal 300. 9 D, 9 E, 9 F, 9 G, 9 H, 9 J, 9 K, 9 M, 9 N, 9 P, 9 Q, 9 R, 9 S, 9 T, 9 V, 9 U, 9 X, 9 Y, 9 Z. ATA. ATA in base 32 is decimal 320. ATA 1, ATA 2, ATA 3, ATA 4, ATA 5, ATA 6, ATA 7, ATA 8, ATA 9, ATA R, ATA B, ATA C, ATA D, ATA E, ATA F, ATA G, ATA H, ATA J, ATA K, ATA M, ATA N, ATA P, ATA Q, ATA R, ATA S, ATA T, ATA V, ATA U, ATA X, ATA Y, ATA Z, beta. By the way, some of you are wondering why I call it aw instead of a. That's because a sounds like 8. So that's why I changed the long a sound to the short a sound and called it aw. So here we are at beta, which is decimal 352. Beta 1, beta 2, beta 3, beta 4, beta 5, beta 6, beta 7, beta 8, beta 9, beta A, beta B, beta C, beta D, beta E, beta F, beta G, beta H, beta Ch, beta K, beta M, beta N, beta P, beta Qua, beta Ra, beta Us, beta T, beta V, beta U, beta X, beta Y, beta Z, zeta. So base 32 zeta is the equivalent of 384. By the way, I'm counting in base 32 because it spares me having to go 101, 102, 103. All of these are double-digit numbers all the way to 1023, which is the beauty of base 32. So again, zeta. Zeta 1, Zeta 2, Zeta 3, Zeta 4, Zeta 5, Zeta 6, Zeta 7, Zeta 8, Zeta 9, Zeta A, Zeta B, Zeta C, Zeta D, Zeta E, Zeta F, Zeta G, Zeta H, Zeta J, Zeta K, Zeta M, Zeta N, Zeta P, Zeta Qua, Zeta Ra, Zeta Us, Zeta T, Zeta V, Zeta U, Zeta X, Zeta Y, Zeta Z, Deta, which is 416. Deta 1, Deta 2, Deta 3, Deta 4, Deta 5, Deta 6, Deta 7, Deta 8, Deta 9, Deta A, Deta B, Deta C, Deta D, Deta E, Deta F, Deta G, Deta H, Deta J, Deta K, Deta M, Deta N, Deta P, Deta Qua, Deta Ra, Deta Us, Deta T, Deta V, Deta U, Deta X, Deta Y, Deta Z, Ea. So, base 32 Ea is 448 in decimal. Ea 1, Ea 2, Ea 3, Ea 4, Ea 5, Ea 6, Ea 7, Ea 8, Ea 9, Ea A, Ea B, Ea D, Ea C, Ea E, Ea F, Ea G, Ea H, Ea J, Ea K, Ea M, Ea N, Ea P, Ea Qua, Ea Ra, Ea Us, Ea T, Ea V, Ea U, Ea X, Ea Y, Ea Z, theta. And base 32 theta equals 480 in decimal. And you could also call it EFTA, but I found it easier just to reverse it around. So instead of EFTA, I call it theta. Theta 1, theta 2, theta 3, theta 4, theta 5, theta 6, theta 7, theta 8, theta 9, theta A, theta B, theta C, theta D, theta E, theta F, theta G, theta H, theta J, theta K, theta M, theta N, theta P, theta Qua, theta Ra, theta Us, theta T, theta V, theta U, theta X, theta Y, theta Z, Gita. And Gita in decimal is 512. Now some of you are probably thinking, Daniel, what are you doing? And you know what I'm doing? I'm getting through 1023 values in the shortest amount of time possible. So I'm not going out of my way to appear a little bit odd and maybe even a little bit crazy. Some of you might think that's what I am. If that's what you have to think, I have a job to do, okay? And one of the jobs God has laid in my heart is to deal with numerical illiteracy. I'm sick and tired of people only knowing how to count to 100, so I'm showing you how I count to 1023, and I do it in base 32, because again, still double digits. A G and a 0 is how you would write it, with a little symbol just showing that it's in base 32 and not decimal. So anyway, Gita. Decimal 512. Here we go. Gita 1, Gita 2, Gita 3, Gita 4, Gita 5, Gita 6, Gita 7, Gita 8, Gita 9, Gita A, Gita B, Gita C, Gita D, Gita E, Gita F, Gita G, Gita H, Gita J, Gita K, Gita M, Gita N, Gita P, Gita Qua, Gita Ra, Gita Us, Gita T, Gita V, Gita U, Gita X, Gita Y, Gita Z, Heta. So Heta would be decimal 544. Hit a 1, hit a 2, hit a 3, hit a 4, hit a 5, hit a 6, hit a 7, hit a 8, hit a 9, hit a A, hit a B, hit a C, hit a D, hit a E, hit a F, hit a G, hit a H, hit a J, hit a K, hit a M, hit a N, hit a P, hit a Qua, hit a Ra, hit a Us, hit a T, hit a V, hit a U, hit a X, hit a Y, hit a Z, Jitta. So that'd be written like a J0 and then a little symbol showing that it's in base 32. And Jitta would be decimal 576. Jitter 1, jitter 2, jitter 3, jitter 4, jitter 5, jitter 6, jitter 7, jitter 8, jitter 9, jitter R, jitter B, jitter C, jitter D, jitter E, jitter F, jitter G, jitter H, jitter J, jitter K, jitter M, jitter N, jitter P, jitter Qua, jitter Ra, jitter Us, jitter T, jitter V, jitter U, jitter X, jitter Y, jitter Z, Kitta, which would be decimal 608. Kitta 1, Kitta 2, Kitta 3, Kitta 4, Kitta 5, Kitta 6, Kitta 7, Kitta 8, Kitta 9, Kitta R, Kitta B, Kitta C, Kitta D, Kitta E, Kitta F, Kitta G, Kitta H, Kitta J, Kitta K, Kitta M, Kitta N, Kitta P, Kitta Qua, Kitta Ra, Kitta Us, Kitta T, Kitta V, Kitta U, Kitta Y, Kitta X, Kitta Y, Kitta Z, meta. You could also say mta, but I find it easier to say meta, which equals decimal 640. Meta 1, meta 2, meta 3, meta 4, meta 5, meta 6, meta 7, meta 8, meta 9, meta A, meta B, meta C, meta D, meta E, meta F, meta G, meta H, meta J, meta K, meta M, meta N, meta P, meta Qua, meta Ra, meta Us, meta T, meta V, meta U, meta X, meta Y, meta Z, neta, which would be decimal 672. So neta 1, neta 2, neta 3, neta 4, neta 5, neta 6, neta 7, neta 8, neta 9, neta A, neta B, neta C, neta D, neta E, neta F, neta G, neta H, neta J, neta K, neta M, neta N, neta P, neta Qua, neta Ra, neta Us, neta T, neta V, neta U, neta X, neta Y, neta Z, Pitta, which is decimal 704. Pitta 1, Pitta 2, Pitta 3, Pitta 4, Pitta 5, Pitta 6, Pitta 7, Pitta 8, Pitta 9, Pitta A, Pitta B, Pitta C, Pitta D, Pitta E, Pitta F, Pitta G, Pitta H, Pitta J, Pitta K, Pitta M, Pitta N, Pitta P, Pitta Qua, Pitta Ra, Pitta Us, Pitta T, Pitta V, Pitta U, Pitta X, Pitta Y, Pitta Z, Quatta, which would be 736 in decimal. Quatta 1, Quatta 2, Quatta 2, Quatta 3, Quatta 4, Quatta 5, Quatta 6, Quatta 7, Quatta 8, Quatta 9, Quatta A, Quatta B, Quatta C, Quatta D, Quatta E, Quatta F, Quatta G, Quatta H, Quatta J, Quatta K, Quatta M, Quatta N, Quatta P, Quatta Qua, Quatta Ra, Quatta Us, Quatta T, Quatta V, Quatta U, Quatta X, Quatta Y, Quatta Z, Rada. And Rada would be 768. So yeah, again, it corresponds to the English letter R, but I found it worked a lot better to call it Ra for counting purposes. And again, that's equal to decimal 768. Rada 1, Rada 2, Rada 3, Rada 4, Rada 5, Rada 6, Rada 7, Rada 8, Rada 9, Rada A, Rada B, Rada C, Rada D, Rada E, Rada F, Rada G, Rada H, Rada J, Rada K, Rada M, Rada N, Rada P, Rada Qua, Rada Ra, Rada Us, Rada T, Rada V, Rada U, Rada X, Rada Y, Rada Z, Sutta. Again, so it's the English letter S, but I call it Sutta. So actually, I changed the name to Us. So you could call it Asta, but I find it a lot easier to reverse that and call it Sutta. And so base 32 Sutta equals decimal 800. So what I have on this hand is 25 times 32, which equals 800. So here's Sutta. Sutta 1, Sutta 2, Sutta 3, Sutta 4, Sutta 5, Sutta 6, Sutta 7, Sutta 8, Sutta 9, Sutta A, Sutta B, Sutta C, Sutta D, Sutta E, Sutta F, Sutta G, Sutta H, Sutta J, Sutta K, Sutta M, Sutta N, Sutta P, Sutta Qua, Sutta Ra, Sutta Us, Sutta T, Sutta V, Sutta U, Sutta X, Sutta Y, Sutta Z, Titta. Titta 1, Titta 2, Titta 3, Titta 4, Titta 5, Titta 6, Titta 7, Titta 8, Titta 9, Titta A, Titta B, Titta C, Titta D, Titta E, Titta F, Titta G, Titta H, Titta J, Titta K, Titta M, Titta N, Titta P, Titta Qua, Titta Ra, Titta Us, Titta T, Titta V, Titta U, Titta X, Titta Y, Titta Z, Vita. So Vita is decimal 864 and Titta was decimal 832. So again, Vita decimal 864. Let's go. Vita 1, Vita 2, Vita 3, Vita 4, Vita 5, Vita 6, Vita 7, Vita 8, Vita 9, Vita A, Vita B, Vita C, Vita D, Vita E, Vita F, Vita G, Vita H, Vita J, Vita K, Vita M, Vita N, Vita P, Vita Qua, Vita Ra, Vita Us, Vita T, Vita V, Vita V, Vita U, Vita X, Vita Y, Vita Z, Uda, which, so that's like the English letter W, which I call U. So this is called OODA, and it's decimal 896. OODA 1, OODA 3, OODA 1, OODA 1, OODA 2, OODA 3, OODA 4, which is decimal 900. OODA 5, OODA 6, OODA 7, OODA 8, OODA 9, OODA A, OODA B, OODA C, OODA D, OODA E, OODA F, OODA G, OODA H, OODA J, OODA K, OODA M, OODA N, OODA P, OODA Qua, OODA Ra, OODA As, OODA T, OODA V, OODA U, OODA X, OODA Y, OODA Z, Exa, decimal 928, Exa 1, Exa 2, Exa 3, Exa 4, Exa 5, Exa 6, Exa 7, Exa 8, Exa 9, Exa A, Exa B, Exa C, Exa D, Exa E, Exa X, Exa G, Exa H, Exa J, Exa K, Exa M, Exa N, Exa P, Exa Qua, Exa Ra, Exa As, Exa T, Exa V, Exa U, Exa X, Exa Y, Exa Z, WIDA, which is decimal 960. WIDA 1, WIDA 2, WIDA 3, WIDA 4, WIDA 5, WIDA 6, WIDA 7, WIDA 8, WIDA 9, WIDA A, WIDA B, WIDA C, WIDA D, WIDA E, WIDA F, WIDA G, WIDA H, WIDA J, WIDA K, WIDA M, WIDA N, WIDA P, WIDA Qua, WIDA Ra, WIDA As, WIDA T, WIDA V, WIDA U, WIDA X, WIDA Y, WIDA Z, Zeta, or decimal 992. Zeta 1, Zeta 2, Zeta 3, Zeta 4, Zeta 5, Zeta 6, Zeta 7, Zeta 8, or 1000. Zeta 9, Zeta A, Zeta B, Zeta C, Zeta D, Zeta E, Zeta F, Zeta G, Zeta H, Zeta J, Zeta K, Zeta M, Zeta N, Zeta P, Zeta Qua, Zeta Ra, Zeta As, Zeta T, Zeta V, Zeta U, Zeta X, Zeta Y, Zeta Z, and then 1024 in decimal, which would be what I called in base 32, 100. Sounds like 100, and it looks like 100, but that would be a 100 followed by a certain symbol that tells me and anyone else reading what I wrote that is not 100 in decimal. It's 100 in base 32, and it equals 1024. So that's been over 16 minutes, and thanks to whoever watched all of that. Something tells me it drove you a little bit nuts and bonkers, and you might have even been tempted to think, is this guy even all there? Thanks for bearing with me. I didn't know how I was going to do this, but it didn't take too long before I realized I better just use base 32 and trust them to bear with me. But we did it. We counted to 1024 in one video on 2 hands, and numerical illiteracy, as far as I can help it, just got dealt another blow, which definitely needs to happen. So I have another video where I counted to 100 on 2 hands, but that's counting to 1023 and then 1024 on 2 hands, and I'm praying that that will serve as a wake-up call so that we start to have respect for numbers. Because we don't respect numbers. We do not respect numbers. We allow them to throw these numbers at us. We don't even know what they're saying. If we did, we wouldn't let them get away with it. We wouldn't let them get away with saying the moon is what? 238,000? Because we just did 1024. It was just over 1,000. So imagine doing what we just did. Just imagine watching this video. If you were to watch it 10 times, then you'd be over 10,000. And I guess if you were to watch it 100 times, you'd be at 100,000. And if you were to watch it 238 times, all the way through, then you'd be at 238,000. Can you imagine doing that? I can't. But at least I can say I've done what I can to, again, put a nail in the coffin of numerical illiteracy. Let's not be numerically illiterate. Knowledge is power. Hosea 4:6 says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And thanks for joining me. And happy Firmament or Heaven Day. Good night.